This presentation gives an overview of some of the characteristics of writing at Level 2 and will help you to think about planning your first assessment for the module Chronicity and Palliative Care.
It probably feels quite a while since you've actually submitted written work, with it being way back in summer. And what you've got to remember is that level of work you've to produce now should be at Level 2, and that's quite a step up from first year. Basically, the differences are that you need to be much more critical in the resources you select, the width of those resources, and then how you engage with them. Another big difference with the step up to second year is that you'll be using increasingly complex ideas and theories, so you need to be really good at conveying them in a clear way. You'll also be writing longer pieces of work, so the need for a clear structure is greater. In both these cases, your academic writing skills need to make the step up to Level 2. Most students are actually very good at critical thinking and critical reading. They often just forget that they have to actually demonstrate that and produce pieces of critical writing. So you need to make sure that all of your writing shows this critical thought, and there are lots of ways that you can do this. Probably the key though is to keep description to a minimum. You've maybe found in feedback in the past that you're told things are too descriptive, that you're not being critical, and that's because you're just describing perhaps a theory or a piece of evidence. You're not evaluating its importance, where it fits into other pieces, or perhaps relating it to practice. Here are some tips to showing that you're a critical writer. The next two slides show examples of typical student work. The first one, whilst it's a good description of a piece of research, is purely descriptive. All it does is let the reader know what this research is about. It doesn't comment on it, it doesn't evaluate it. This second extract is much more critical. It finds two pieces of research that are quite similar and compares and contrasts them. So it looks at the weaknesses and strengths, the differences and similarities between the two pieces. It also brings in a third reference to comment on the appropriateness of methodology.
The first assessment for the module is a 2,000-word critical appraisal of a journal article. Now this is a great opportunity to develop your critical skills in engaging with research. Here are some hints and tips on how to plan your assessment. Most importantly, do remember that although it's a critical appraisal of one article, you still need to find references to back up all the points that you make. One of the practical things that you can do in planning your assessment is to have a look at the marking matrix within the module handbook. This not only gives you an idea of how the different marks are distributed, but also of the different areas where critical engagement is very important. So in summary, here's our top tips for planning your assessment and getting started. Just make sure that you make use of all the really excellent information that's within the module handbook.